What is going on, Niner fans? We had some big time news this morning. If you woke up, you saw the news late like me, right? I will. Here's the thing, man. George Kittle got extended today. We all know 4-year contract. He's the highest paid NFL tight end in the league. It's amazing, man. What a day. 4 years, $76.4 million contract worth $40 million guaranteed. He's the highest paid tight end in the NFL. You love to see it. You love to hear it. I mean, he deserves it. So, George Kittle has put in the work. He does everything. He blocks, he catches. He's one of the greatest 49ers of all time, honestly, 100%. What a start to the day. Let's just say the Bay's on a heater right now. Last night, the Warriors took care of business, and they won Game 4. And this morning, you wake up, and George Kittle signs the contract of the summer, right, to get things rolling. Now they got Fred Warner and Brock Purdy to take care of. But what a morning to wake up to. George Kittle, boom, contract extension. Now, it was crazy. It happened early in the morning. Obviously, I always do. I had my phone being blown up. C-Mac and Smitty were calling me. My phone on D&D, silence. I was like, I'm tired after the Warriors game. It was a late game. I was like, I'm going to sleep until 7. I shouldn't have. I got to stop putting my phone on silent. I like to sleep. I'm an old guy. What am I going to do? So I wake up. My phone, again, was a mess. And, of course, when you post something late, people just flame you. Like, for me, it sucks because when I post it, about time you post. It's old news now. I don't know if people are trolling me or upset at me, but it is what it is. George Kittle, freaking unbelievable news, man. 4-year, $76.4 million contract extension, $40 million guaranteed. Now, the cool thing about this is he was telling us he wanted to be a Niner for life. He was trying to manifest this all, off season. And, my favorite part of this too, let's talk about this, is that there were sources that were saying he wasn't showing up at training camp or OTAs because the contract, he told, let's say the name, Deanna Rossini. He said, look, that's not the case. I'm not showing up to OTAs for contractual reasons. He was at WrestleMania. He was partying, he was doing his thing, but he was training also. He's been training his ass off in Nashville. He showed up to the facility the other day. He greeted Michael Williams, first-round pick, and George Kittle is nothing but a class act. The fact that Deanna Rossini doubled down and said, George Kittle, he's trying to get his contract. He told me that my source is wrong, but I doubled down and my source is right. He's trying to get paid. He's trying to be the highest paid tight end. Like, that's obvious. Obviously, he was going to get money. He was going to get paid. This is his third contract in the league. What do you think? He's not going to become the highest paid tight end in the league? He's the man. He's George Kittle. And you were going to get him paid. But the big miss for Deanna Rossini was the fact that she said that he was not coming to camp, OTAs, because of the contract. And it's not the reason. And he showed up when he needed to. And now he got his money. And she was wrong. I can't with her, man. She was trying to stir up drama, and she was wrong. And, the people that broke this news were George Kittle's boys, bussing with the boys, the crew. He let them break it. Now, of course, Rap Sheet and them, they get the heat, they get the hype, they get to take the credits because they're the sources. But the real people that broke this news was bussing with the boys. George Kittle let them post it. They broke it before everybody. 4 a.m. That was crazy. But shout out to George, man. He deserves this money. An absolute unbelievable player. He's one of the greatest Niners of all time, 100%. You think about tight end position, you probably think of George Kittle nowadays for the 49ers. And just in general, he's revamped the position. He really put the tight end position on the map. He's really made it larger than life. He, helped create National Tight End Day. The guy's unbelievable, man. I just remember when they drafted him, 5th-round pick, tight end out of Iowa, and nobody said anything. And now he's the highest paid tight end in the NFL. Well deserved, man. 5th-round blocking tight end out of Iowa. Woo, we feeling good. Yeah, I woke up a little late. I wouldn't say I woke up late. I woke up 6:50. It's not really late. 6:50 a.m. West Coast time, but yeah, East Coast, they crush it. So by the time I wake up, it is late. So yeah, in that sense, it's kind of irritating. My phone was going off. I just was sleeping through it. MSG is Kittle technically the longest tenured Niner since Juice was released for a bit. I mean, you can say technically, but I mean, Juice was pretty much there, I think, 10 days before Kittle. I think that's 10, I think like a week or like a couple weeks. So if you want to get technical, yeah, Juice was released and brought back. But I mean, he's been with the team for 10 years. They're going to be George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk are going to be the 10-year guys. They're going to be the 10-year guys. But if you think about it, Kyle Juszczyk was brought in first because of free agency happens before the draft. And that's kind of the way you look at it. But yeah, both George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk will both be 10-year Niner legends. It's unbelievable. They're going to retire together. They're probably going to be, I don't know if they'll retire together because George has 4 years and George has 4 years. Juice has 2 years. But unless George wants to take an early retire, that's all hearsay. That's down the line. But 2 10-year Niners, man. Unbelievable. Love them both. They're both just fantastic players, good leaders. And, both of these guys are big parts of the locker room, especially George Kittle, man. This guy is the locker room, savant. He's the guy that everybody looks up to. Everybody loves George Kittle. Players around the league, there's players when they do mic'd ups. I can't remember what, it was the Packers game. I can't remember what player, but he came up to George. He goes, I love your game, man. I idolize you. Like, people come up to George Kittle and they tell him, we absolutely love you, So pretty cool to see. And George Kittle, of course, Kyle Juszczyk, his good friend, he congratulated him right after the contract. He says, congratulations to one of the greatest 49ers of all time. Diamond Lenore says, deserve it, best in the world. So the Niner fans, the Niner players, Niner organization, everybody's happy, man. George Kittle he's that guy. He is unbelievable, man. He's unbelievable. Just gotta love him. Niner for life. He manifested this, which is so cool. Like, the fact that he wanted this to happen, you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. And it just was a matter of time. People were saying they're going to do this. They're not going to keep Kittle. They're not going to be able to sign him and pay him. I knew they'd get it done. They got this done relatively early, actually. This was kind of nice. That's the other thing is the 49ers got George Kittle's contract done pretty quick. Pretty damn quick. I'm excited. So I'm going to open up Instagram. We're going to go live on Instagram real quick while we're live here on YouTube. We'll have them tap in. But good stuff, man. George Kittle, highest paid tight end in the league. That's right, baby. My boy, George Kittle. Unbelievable. I'm sure people are just hyped up. Yeah, and Kittle has no drama, Christine. What's up, everybody? We're here live on YouTube. Now we're here live on Instagram. George Kittle, big time news of the day. George Kittle signed a 4-year contract extension, making him the highest paid tight end in the NFL, $19.1 million a year. We love it, man. No drama for George Kittle. They got this contract done pretty early. And, big time news, man. Good to hear. Good to see it. Deanna Rossini, you got to look a little silly. Deanna Rossili. I'm going to start calling her Deanna is silly because she kept saying George Kittle wasn't showing up. He wasn't showing up because of contracts. He wasn't showing up for contracts. And George Kittle said, I'm the source. That's not true. Your source is wrong. She doubled down. And George Kittle was like, look, dude, that's not the reason I didn't show up to training or OTAs. That's not the reason I didn't show up to OTAs. It wasn't because of the contract. They got it taken care of. Now, I got some news that I know. I know Parag wasn't dealing with the contract at first. He's been busy, Leeds United, other stuff. Parag has an assistant. All I'm going to say is the assistant was assisting and the contract wasn't getting done. Parag took care of the contract. He came over, took care of it, and they got the contract done lickety split. So shout out to my boy Parag. He got this money taken care of. They locked in the best tight end in the league. They locked up one of the best 49ers of all time. Niner for life. He's going to be a 10-year Niner at the very least. It's just great news. Good news to wake up to. Yeah, I know I was a little late. Everybody on Instagram flaming me. I know I was a little late, but it wasn't because people weren't trying to wake me up. C-Mac, Smitty, we're blowing up my phone, and I was just asleep. I had my phone on D&D, man. It's the worst thing to do. I got to stop. Deanna Rumor Cini says George, says my boy Smitty. Yeah, we'll have to go live with him on Instagram once I get off of here on YouTube. But yeah, Deanna Rumor Cini. That's a good one. She's so crazy, man. I can't believe she was sitting there saying all these false accusations. And the fact that she doubled down, the fact that Rossini doubled down, that's what really grinded my gears. He doubled down on a report that was not right. George Kittle literally told you to your face. He literally tweeted, say, hey, man, I wasn't there because of contract. It wasn't that. That's not the reason. Whatever the case was, you don't need to know, but that wasn't the case. And she says, oh, I did some digging. What are you, an archaeologist? What are you, archaeologist? You're digging in the dirt? Digging. And I found out my source is right. Your source is very incorrect. Loud and wrong. Very loud and wrong. Yeah. Kittle's gonna retire as a Niner. Love it. He's unbelievable. Like, that's the thing. George Kittle has put up production year after year. He was a fifth round blocking tight end, and he's blossomed into the best tight end in the league all around. He blocks, he catches touchdowns, he does everything. He's a captain, he's a leader. He's amazing in the locker room. It's amazing, man. Digging her grave. Tanisha says, when you for sure know what type of player you have, that's no long fight with getting them paid. Absolutely. When you know who you got, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay him up. There was probably it probably wasn't that hard to pay George. They've already paid him out multiple times. They knew what they were getting out of George. They know the commitment. They know the hard work. They know everything about him. 2 words, Raj. Deanna Rossini. Yeah, unbelievable. You don't tell the primary source they're wrong, says MSQ. You don't tell George Kittle. It's literally his word versus anybody else. He's the man you're reporting on. You're reporting on a man named George Kittle. George Kittle comes to you and says, hey, you're wrong. Tell that man he's wrong. Made you look silly, but it's great news. I don't care about Deanna Rossini anymore. I'm just happy George Kittle got his contract. Highest paid tight end in the league, 4 years, runs him through 2029. It's great news, man. I think every Niner fan can sit here and tell us a George Kittle story. If you went to training camp or a game or whatever, you always hear some great stuff about George, and he's just that type of guy. Like, if you've met him, if you've had any interaction with him, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Just a good dude, and he puts up a lot of hard work through the year. Like, he puts his ass on the line. He puts his body through the line, and it's just unbelievable to see him, put in that work, and he deserves it, I know me and Smitty were talking earlier. He was texting the group chat, me, C-Mac, and Vlad, and Smitty wasn't too happy. Oh, he's older. This is the thing. George Kittle is a generational player. He's one of your icons of your team. You pay him, man. No matter you pay him. He might be getting older. You pay him because what he's done throughout his career, he deserves every single penny. He deserves more. It's like if Larry Fitzgerald, right, trying to get his 3rd contract, you pay him because he's Larry Fitzgerald, because he's that guy. George Kittle, you pay him because he's George Kittle. He's put in the work, the effort, everything he's done, blood, sweat, tears. This man gives his heart for the team. He does a lot, man, and he deserves it. And he's also a hell of a player, bro. This guy put up Terry McBride numbers last year and less volume. And Terry McBride, very good player for the Cardinals. He deserved his contract, but so does George Kittle. He put out big seasons every year. He's been through so many quarterbacks, right? You had C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, Jimmy Garoppolo. He had all these guys. Throwing to him. Trey Lance. Now he's got, Brock Purdy. Finally, he's kind of got a stabilized quarterback. He went through every quarterback. Brian Hoyer. This man went through every quarterback that you could think of on this roster. You're like, who the hell? This man has put up generational numbers as a tight end with mid at quarterback. Let's be honest. And if you put him on the Chiefs, you put him on a team with an elite quarterback, Josh Allen, this man would probably have 2,000 yards received. I don't know. He's unbelievable. That's how good he is. And speaking of Jimmy, real quick, the Bay Area finally has a good playoff. It's Jimmy Butler. Shout out to Jimmy Butler and the Warriors last night. Good dub. Hey, Peter Parker says, Kittle, what's good? I'm good, man. I'm hyped. George Kittle got that kind of contract. Pineapple Kittle. Kittle extension, my daughter's 8th birthday. What a great day. Yo, shout out to my boy, hey, Peter Parker. Tell your daughter happy birthday. She got her birthday. George Kittle got the contract. What a day, baby. Suburban Legend says, what up? George Kittle deserved the bag, and he's never given a negative comment about not just his QBs, but any teammate. Yeah, even though Brian Hoyer, Nick Mullins, those guys weren't great quarterbacks, he didn't sit there and throw them under the bus. He's a hell of a teammate, a great leader. He's a true definition of, an amazing teammate, 100%. Jimmy played injured. He's the man. Yeah, man. Jimmy played through pain. He played through pain, but he put that team in the bag. That's playoff Jimmy. And he wasn't even 100%. I love that guy, man. That was, I know it's a little different, but I had to shout out to my boy, Jimmy Butler, last night. Made this team unbelievable. There's other reasons they won, but Jimmy was a big reason. Now the Niners can shift their attention towards a Purdy extension, says Julius. Absolutely correct. I think they got to get maybe Fred Warner, because there's 3 contracts that, John Lynch said that they were trying to work out. Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Fred Warner. I think you get Fred Warner's contract done. He's kind of a contract that you probably don't have to make it very difficult. You probably can get this done pretty fast. Just like George Kittle, he's a veteran. You kind of know what's on the table. And then you just hammer out the kinks on Brock Purdy. I think they'll both get done relatively quick, but I think Fred Warner's next and then Brock Purdy after that. And it's not going to be a long, dramatic offseason. This has been great. Actually, like if you look at the 49ers offseason, it's been fantastic. Step 1, fire Nick Sorensen. He gone. Step 2, fire Brian Schneider. He gone. Step 3, fire the assistant DC, the other guy they had. The dude that went from the Chargers. Well, I can't think of his name. He was not even important. He gone. Hire Robert Salah. He back. And then you go fix the defensive line. They drafted 5 defensive players. Their first 3 picks were defensive linemen. It was unbelievable. They revamped the D-line. Extend George Kittle. Extend Fred Warner. Extend Brock Purdy. Fix the O-line. That might be the one they don't do. But for the most part, they've been cooking with beans in the pot, man. They've been cooking it up. Grease in the pot. They've been cooking, and they got rid of all these unwanted players out of Brandon Staley. Yeah, Brandon Staley. Well, I can't even think of his name. Let's give a big Brandon Staley. He gone. Nick Sorensen. He gone. Brian Schneider. He gone. Robert Salah. He back, baby. Love it, man. So Niners have done a good job. They extended the best tight end in the league, George Kittle. They're going to extend Fred Warner, the best linebacker in the league, and then they're going to extend Brock Purdy, their franchise, their quarterback one. It's been a good offseason. Just Christian McCaffrey healthy. They got a lot of dogs in the draft, a lot of defensive studs, and I think so far we're doing a good job this offseason. Overall, I would say we got about a B+. You didn't fix the O-line, and that's the only issue. But Trent Williams is healthy. Hopefully, he can stay healthy through the season. I'd say a B+ because you did all that, which is amazing. But you didn't fix the O-line. Can't give you an A. Lynch and Shanahan said that Brendel and McKivitz were doing good, so I give it a B+. And they got competition coming in for Jake Moody. Yes, you're right, Rigo. They got competition. My boy, Kenny the Kicker. Kenny the Kicker, Lou Groza Award winner. He's coming in. He's ready for high. He's ready to take down Jake Moody. Woo! I can't wait to see. No more D&D till Brock Purdy signs. My friend Deb texted me. No more. I can't go D&D until Brock Purdy signs. I might have to just wake up at 3 a.m. if that's the case. It sucks. I'm going to lose sleep, but got to do what we got to do. Jake Moody going to have some kicker competition. I love it. Jake Moody, I wish I could see the I want to see them. Like, how do you do a kicker competition? You have, Kenny the kicker, you line up from 60, kick that. All right, Jake, you kick it. 60 yards. Okay, both of you nail it. Okay, go back. Move it to 65 feet. Okay, or 65 yards. Oh, bam. Kenny, you made it. Oh, Jake, you missed it. Okay, 1 point for Kenny. How are they going to do a kicker competition? I don't know, but it's going to be fantastic. And I hope the best man wins. And whoever wins, I hope they can make those damn kicks in the regular season when it matters. Yeah, I want to see this competition play out, man. MSQ says, Kittle has aged like fine wine. What's up, Big Rob? Kittle has aged like fine wine. He really has. This guy has just gotten better with age. Like, it's unbelievable. He's gotten stronger, faster, bigger. Unbelievable. I mean, he gets a little nagging injury here and there because he plays, he plays insane, plays so physical and plays violent. And you're going to get a hamstring pull here and there. But for the most part, George Kittle hasn't had like a massive injury, a couple of hamstring injuries here and there. That's going to keep you out for a couple of weeks. But this guy's a dog, man. He takes care of himself. You see how much he trains over the offseason, and it's fantastic. Moody has been money in practice. He has, Rob. But you know what the thing is? You got to be money in the regular season instead of practice. Fred Warner next. I think Fred Warner is going to be next. That's what I think. Kittle is also the man. He is tough. Yeah, he really is, man. Healthy Trent, Warner, and CMC this coming season. We need it. Last year Fred Warner was hurt. Last year CMC was hurt. Last year Trent was hurt. Last year Bosa was hurt. Last year everybody was damn hurt. Let's hope they stay healthy. And you got George Kittle, the legend, the anchor, the captain. It's good, man. This was a good news to wake up to, 100%. Good morning. Good morning to you. Practice how you play. You play how you practice. Listen, we ain't talking about practice. Not talking about practice. Practice? Not the game. You talking about practice? I don't care if you could kick 80 yards in practice. You can kick 100-yard field goals in practice. If you can't do it in the game, Not the game. If you can't do it in the game, I don't care what you're doing. Practice? We talking about practice? No. How do I feel about the dude we drafted from Montana? Yeah, that's the wide receiver. He's going to be your return man. He has 8 career punt returns through his career, the FCS record. Last year, he had 10 punt returns. He returned 3 to the house for a touchdown. He's your return man. Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, they already said he's pretty much our return man. That's pretty much the return man. Can't wait for the season. Miss you too. But yeah, that the Montana receiver, Junior Bergeron, I believe his name, he is basically your new return man, pretty much. As long as he can pan out and stay healthy, all that good stuff, and he can. He's a return man extraordinaire. That's what he does. He does one thing good, and he does it amazing. He returns punts, and that's what he's gonna do. Yeah. Cowan going to be in the offense more? Says I pretty much. That's my take on it. Yeah, because I mean, okay, look, you got Brandon Ayuk. He's going to be shelved for a little bit. Who's going to step up? Demarcus Robinson. You signed him, but he's going to miss a few games because he got suspension. So you got Ricky Pearsall. Expect him to rise up. He's not going to catch everything. You got Juwan Jennings, right? He looked amazing last year as the X receiver. Okay, who the hell do you have? You have George Kittle. Yeah, he's going to be a big part, but he also blocks. Okay, that's 3 weapons. You need another guy. Jacob Cowing makes sense to me to the moon. Jacob Cowing probably going to get a lot more attention in the offense as long as he can continue to develop and showcase his blocking skills, because that's the thing. 49ers receivers have to block. Jordan Watkins, the other guy they drafted, he made a big his whole spiel yesterday or this weekend when they interviewed him was, yeah, I understand how to block. No block, no rock, basically. So I think he'll be a guy that gets a lot of special teams, maybe a few, plays here and there. I don't think he's going to have a huge role, but so if you need a third wide receiver, who's it going to be? It's got to be Jacob Cowing. So AJ says, I'm excited about this defense. Me too, man. Michael Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West. Those guys are dogs, man. Those guys are not going to let anybody run. CJ West reminds me of DJ Jones. Alfred Collins, he's like Arik Armstead, who is very good against the run. He's a big space eater. And then you got Michael Williams. This guy's a dog, man. This guy's going to go out there and be able to set the edge. He can get pressure on the quarterback. Then you got Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. Defense looks nice, man. It does look good. Cowing looks jacked in practice with Ricky. He does. Those 2 guys have been hitting it hard, man. So good for them. Good for them. Ayuk, yeah, he's going to be, I mean, he's recovering from ACL tear. So hopefully he can come back, but he'll miss some time. I'm surprised we didn't get the wide receiver from Stanford. I thought they would. I thought they were going to get a receiver from Stanford. Alec, Emin, what's the last name? I can't pronounce it right. But yeah, the Stanford wide receiver, I thought they were going to get him. Him and John Lynch were basically texting each other cookie recipes on the, when they were at Stanford Pro Day. They were literally texting each other, talking about, grandmother's casserole on the side. And they didn't draft him, dude. It was crazy. Who's going to be our next tough? Good question. That's the safety positions, in a little bit of a flux because of Malik Mustafa, but he's pretty optimistic he'll be back. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I know Jair Brown's gonna have to step up. They got Marquise Seigel. They drafted him. He's gonna have to really step up. They added Pinnock this offseason. They added Jason Pinnock, offseason veteran signing. So 49ers have some players, but we'll see if anybody steps up, because Huff, as much as he was hurt, when he was healthy, he was a hell of a safety. But maybe Mustafa could come back, won't miss too much time, because they're going to really need his force. He was supposed to be a big breakout guy this year. So my boy C-Mac says, O-line. Yeah, that's the one part that, like I said, we just didn't improve. Everything else looks like they did better. My boy C-Mac, appreciate you for trying to wake my sleepy ass up this morning. It was texting him and Smitty, 5 a.m. They was texting, calling me. Had my phone on do not disturb. I had it on silent. But next time big news breaks, make sure you call me again, because I will wake up this time. I'm going to have my phone off of silent moving forward, because I missed it. I woke up 7 a.m. and I'm like, oh, George, my phone was like, Raj, wake up, wake up, wake up. Everybody was texting me. I was like, come on, I did it again. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy, C-Mac, for trying to wake me up this morning. I told him last time, make sure you text me. But I was so tired last night after the Warriors game. I was like, I'm gonna sleep until 7. I put my I was dreaming of Stephanie Valcure. I had my phone off because last night I went to bed and I was like, I'm gonna sleep until 7. I was like, I'm gonna wake up at 7. So I didn't have to go to work today. I was like, I'm gonna sleep until 7, make sure my daughter's up so she can get to school. I was like, 7 sounds good. Put my alarm on, put on D&D. 7 o'clock wake rolls up, and I'm like, oh shit, man. Oh man. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. I know I missed the drop. I missed the initial drop, but we still got it all up. Tutor you in organic chemistry? Oh God, no. I can't do that. Whew. No way. No, sir. What do I do for work? I'm a physical therapist. I do home health care. I work at a rehab clinic, but I kind of make my own schedule. Today the clinic did need me. I have a home health clinic client later, so that's like whatever. I got a free day. Some days it's free agent. Some days you go and grind. I mean, usually I work a month. I usually work Tuesday through Saturday, but the clinic they're kind of slow right now, so they're like, stay home. So okay, that's cool. 7 a.m. sleeping is crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's not like I slept in. 7 a.m. still pretty early, right? 7 a.m. still a pretty early wake up time, but normally I wake up like at 6 because I got to get up and get ready for work. But today I didn't have a work day, which is very rare, very rare. So I woke up at 7, an hour later. So let's see. Yeah, just like the Trent news. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Was annoying. That happened at like midnight. Or no, that happened like at 1 a.m. I had just slept. Any updates on the Purdy contract? Nothing yet. They've just been hammering it through. They've been working on it. That's the latest news is they've been working on the Purdy contract, and I'm pretty sure they'll get it taken care of. I think Fred Warner will get paid before Brock Purdy does, but it'll be pretty close. I don't think they're going to make it dragged out. So, yeah, happy Tuesday, everybody. This was good news for a Tuesday. Let's see. That's it. But George Kittle, highest paid tight end in the league of all the league. I'm hyped up. Good news. YouTube, we're going to end here. Appreciate you. We'll be live tonight with Larry Krueger, so we'll talk about everything under the sun. George Kittle, big day. Hyped to be a Niner fan. Shout out to George Kittle. Deserved every single penny. And yeah, good stuff. Love y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. Go Niners! And we are still